Welcome to the Cavalier Corner, a show in which we'll be discussing all kinds of fun topics related to student life. My name is Giuliana.
And I'm Camille, and today we have a special guest with us. Do you want to go introduce yourself to our audiences?
Sure, I'm Dr. Valerie Mann. I'm the director of the Academic Achievement Center and the Language Resource Centers here on campus, as well as the chair of college success, an academic department with classes on how to be a great student and figure out what you want to do with your life.
Wow. That is so beautiful. Oh my God. Well, you have a lot of titles.
Yeah, it just kind of happened that way.
Awesome. We're going to so before we start, let's start off with an icebreaker so the audience could get to know you. My first question is, if you could be two fruits, which one would you be and why?
Okay, so I did think about this ahead of time, and I have a garden and chickens and ducks in my yard, and I grow blackberries and blueberries in there. And the idea of the smell and the warm fruit coming ripe in the sun in the summer sounds pretty ideal right now. So I'm going to say blackberries and blueberries from my garden. I made jam last year and I'm hoping to make more. So there you go. Those are my quarantine hobbies.
Oh, so wait, this is out of pocket, but how is your garden doing like now? So do you postpone it until when it's closer to spring you start planting again?
Okay, so right now my garden is relatively dormant. The garlic still has green and some of the onions do, but mostly I'm making compost. It's covered with hay. The chickens are making more compost that will go into it come spring. So it's kind of a full circle thing. So yeah, the chickens eat whatever vegetables don't grow or we don't want. So it's kind of a cycle of life kind of a thing. So.
And so we have an expert in agriculture on our ends too. That's
no.
Hey, you know more than I do.
I just stick things in the ground and see if they'll grow. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's a catastrophe. That's the fun of it.
Experiment. Awesome. Yeah. So I have another question for you. So how long have you been working at JCCC?
So I've been full-time about 5 years. I also worked as an adjunct for about 11 before that. So I've been on campus about 16 years, give or take, long enough to understand what you all are going through. I also have 4 kids of my own in college right now. So the college experience is something that I really love to support. I loved my own college years, and helping you all with yours is one of the great gifts of my job.
What is the Academic Resource Center? Like, what is it? Where is it located? What does it do right now for students?
Sure. So let me give you a little history to help you understand that. So previously, the Academic Resource Centers, which included the Academic Achievement Center and the Language Resource Center, which I'm in charge of, as well as the Writing Center, the Math, and the Science. And then there was also a satellite location for accounting tutors. Anyway, they've put us all together in one space. Right, it used to be there were like 7 locations. You had to go all over the place to find any academic help. And so we have all been put in the same area on the first floor of the Billington Library. It is a beautiful space. It really is. There is a guided tour on our website, I think, so that you can go and see it, but it is wonderful. If you've ever been in the collab, it has kind of that same cool vibe. Mm-hmm. So those different unique discipline area supports are all in one place for students to walk in with some really nice study rooms and study areas. Today, right now, the centers are open. So students can come in and study if they need to. You know how sometimes you just need to be at school to feel like doing your schoolwork? Right. So with a mask and checking your temperature and all the normal safety features that you would expect to see anywhere in public, you can use a computer. You can come in and sit at a table. You can, if you want actual academic help, you can come into my Academic Achievement Center, and we have learning specialists on duty when we're open. The spaces are open Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday from 7:30 to 5, and Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5. We are there and we are supporting students on campus. Because of the way the world has changed, we're also available on Zoom. So for example, my services, the AAC learning specialists are in a Zoom room right now waiting for students to come and ask them for help with everything from how do I submit this file on Canvas to will you help me understand the assignment to help me make a study plan for the week. Just the tutors in the Language Resource Center are also available on Zoom. The links are all on our websites. The Writing Center is similarly set up. They have some services on campus and some on by appointment. They have a drop-in room that's staffed most of the time. You can check their webpage for the specifics. Math is similar. They have tutors on campus today. I saw them there working with a student on campus, but they're also in Zoom rooms helping students. And the Science Center is also similarly set up. We all kind of have our own flavor. So you'll want to check our websites for how we're operating. We've come together, but we're still keeping unique identities. And so it's important just to check how we've publicized how to get in touch with us.
And just for information, we will provide the link below.
Great.
Well, that is beautiful. So especially being a student life ambassador that's on campus a lot and being a full-time student at the same time, I have used the resources to the T. Even now, I'm still scheduled with a tutor. Listen, this is the way to go. And I am still surprised every time I'm, sharing this news with others. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yes, you can get free tutor on campus, or you can go through Zoom. If you're having a problem working something out, all you have to do is just hop on your computer, find that specific. It can be specific. I just enrolled in the AAR or the ARC? Like I just enrolled in that one. But I know that I have like the science tab in my Canvas, and I have the math one in my Canvas. So I told them, like, I've been telling people, like, it's just simple. They will share their screen with you. They will work it out. They will work a similar problem until you understand what you're going through.
I think these are important times for students to realize you are not going to know it all. It is not possibly going to be as simple as we think it should be. Maybe it is in my opinion, it is more difficult to learn this way, and you have to be more proactive in managing your own learning process. And I do think these are important times for students to really leverage these free resources. At very few other schools will you be able to sign up with a tutor every week and have help all the time, to drop into a Zoom room and get help whenever you need it. It is really important to self-advocate, and do not be too proud. Go and get the help and ask the question over and over until you get the answer. When I taught college success courses in person, I told students, I'm like, your job is to eliminate the confusion. Do not accept that. Fix it.
I agree. And I have like the same, so what I did was I took one of your college courses that was I think it was the math, is it like the math
learning strategies for math.
Yeah. So I took that class because I was struggling in math. Then I took that class and then I got a tutor, and best believe I got an A in college algebra.
Woo! That's a great testimonial for us.
Yes, because I got a C in math once. I think it was a math 116. And I was like, no, this, I refuse to I don't want to go to college algebra and retake it. It's like, I don't want to struggle twice. So I go, no, I am going to discipline myself. And at the time I was taking like an anatomy and physiology as well. And I am not a science or math person, but best believe I used those resources. I was like, I need a tutor. I had my tutor twice per week. We met face-to-face and we met virtually as well. Because at some point, because we were going through the pandemic at the same time. So we were able to, flip the switch. If it's time for us to go through a Zoom call, it was a Zoom call. If it's face-to-face, it was face-to-face. Till this day. An A in college algebra. I walk around and tell everyone, I was like, listen, I got an A in college algebra. And everybody knows math is not my friend.
Well, I think math is a lot like learning another language. You really have to learn the lingo. And I think sometimes you need a tour guide to help you with that. And that learning strategies for math class or the math resource center tutor, whatever it is you need. And sometimes I call them layers of support. Sometimes you need a really great math teacher that speaks, to you. You need a really great learning strategies for math professor that can be your person. You need to meet with those math resource center tutors. You need a great place to study. you need some techniques for studying effectively, and you can create this kind of personalized approach toward learning. I too often, you know, maybe we don't do so great on the first test. We're like, I'm not good at math, or I'm not so good at science, but that may not be it. Maybe you just haven't found the right way to approach that for you. And sometimes you need to work harder. Sometimes you need to work smarter. Sometimes you need to do both. And so that's smart that you use so many of our resources, because we are so lucky at JCCC to have so many people who care about your success. We are all over it. We're with you.
I agree. I keep like, especially if I'm at the engagement desk and I look, like sometimes like when we're printing IDs and we're allowed to see the class schedules, the first thing, if I see like way too many classes, that I was like, so you did know that we have a resource center, like we have an academic resource center? And they're like, what? And I was like, yes. And we have like a pamphlet at the engagement desk. And I was like, you're gonna need this, because I try to share it.
When you're sharing that stuff, tell them too, we have workshops in the Academic Achievement Center. We have a 45-minute academic orientation called a Smart Start, and students can sign up for those. And in that 45 minutes, we help them log into their Canvas. We help them put their email in their phone. We help them set a schedule for their semester, like when they'll study. We help them make sure they understand kind of how their courses are set up. Where's your syllabi? You have a folder or some sort of an organization for each class. Kind of that underlayment of being a really great student that sometimes can trip you up if you don't have that in place from the very beginning, right?
I agree. I think the first time I was here, my comp 1 teacher was the one that she sent us to the Academic Achievement Center and the Writing Center to do assignments. Like she was like, if you need this grade, you have to go in there and have, see a tutoring there, and then she taught us how to use the resources on campus. So she was honestly my first introduction to the resources on campus, especially I'm an international student, so I didn't know anything. And then I will honestly say, JUCO holds your hand through everything. They make it so easy.
We will walk beside you, and we are happy to do it. It makes us really enjoy our jobs too. We've missed you all terribly, so please come see us even in a Zoom room.
Completely agree.
That's all it takes is students reaching out, because we really have all these amazing resources and tools that are really just there for students. So whenever someone needs it, it's there. You just need to reach out.
Is there anything you want to tell these students?
Keep asking your questions until you get an answer.
The best way.
Yeah.
The best way to go.
Yeah.
I just talked to an older student on the phone right before this, and she was really struggling with her computer course. She's, trying to find the skills that she needs to deal with this new world we're in. And we started talking about how she's like, I have to ask over and over. And my response was, great. Ask the learning specialist in the Academic Achievement Center over and over. They're not going to get tired of answering. She said her grandkids were tired of answering her questions. I'm like, we won't get tired of answering your questions. Keep asking. If it takes multiple times for you to figure that out, you can do it. Yeah, I mean, I would, when I teach college success classes, I tell students, if I ask them, I'm like, how do you get stronger? And they're like, you lift different weights on different days. You vary, you take a rest day, you come back and do it again, right? It's the same for us as learners. Too often we compartmentalize, right? We're playing with our phone and we don't. Anyway, we've got to have a schedule where we lift weights regularly. And in the Academic Achievement Center and the tutors and the other resources we have on campus, they can help you figure out how to build those mental muscles to be the best students you can be and get your money's worth out of school, get your efforts worth out of your school, and to help you achieve your goals. Because that's what we're all here on campus for.
Because it's true. It's not, I would always tell people, it's not, wasting your money to fail a class is absurd. Like you need to do it properly. Like if you're going to put your focus in a class, and especially if you realize that you're not really good at that class, that's when you put some extra effort in. That's when you reach out to someone. And for me, I am not the best at, I can't learn in my house. Like there's too much distraction, especially my bed and my TV. However, so one of the best thing for me is, especially if I'm going to do my chemistry experiment, I go into the Science Resource Center. I call ahead. I call them and say, hey, I'm going to do one of my experiment. Can I drop in and, just in case I need a little help, especially given this time, I have never done chemistry in 11 years. And this semester is like my first time doing chemistry since. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go, I'm going to try and do this.
I've even heard the Science Resource Center will set you an appointment with a tutor, like have the tutor present while, right? If you let them know ahead of time and you guys align your schedules, I think.
Yeah, so I have an online tutor that we go through Zoom together, and she's been amazing because, we sit down and she goes through my experiment, she explains, and I'm able to write questions down and then ask her, and we piggyback and forth. And then when I go to the Science Resource Center, there's always a tutor that's there. So in case you're going through anything, you can be like, hey, I don't understand what I'm going through right here. And they'll be able to assist you right there and then. So I'm always, trust me, I'm the advocate for the student resource centers. I always spread the word. I always tell students, I always walk them through it. I was like, okay, this is all you need to do. Visit this website and then, get yourself a tutor. So it is amazing. Yeah. And I like those rooms.
I do think it is helpful when you show up for a tutoring session, have a piece of paper where you've written down your questions or something. Don't just say, I don't get it. I mean, be prepared with, okay, I did this, this, and this, but I got stuck here. Help me understand this particular section or this question or this process.
This is me, and I'll ask you the same question 5 million ways just for me to understand the concept, because sometimes some people explain certain things and I'm like, okay, let me see. This one plus this one equals 2, okay? So I have to break it down in my language, like just how I can understand it, and then to put it out there. So I always have my questions. I always try to go through my assignments. I practice a lot when it comes on to, and I practice a lot when it comes on to using my tutors. I don't want to just go and sit and then be like, blue. I want to go and say, okay, I want to identify the problems that I have. So that is really good for students to do as well.
Well, that's the thing too, everyone learns in a different way. And so tutors are there to help you, but they can't really do that if they don't know how to help you. And you need to give them those tools. You need to come with the questions. You need to ask them however many times you need, and then they can help you even better. And then you can actually learn something.
Amen. I'm really grateful for these tutors. I appreciate it.
I can tell you from my own experience, not all schools have all these things. The other 4 schools my kids are at, they have some things, but not the depth of services that we've got for you guys.
It's true. And the fact that, we're going through a pandemic and you guys are able to reach us. It's like our last episode, we talk about the way students could get a computer. Like if you need a computer to use, we have that available for you. All you have to do is, come on up and explain your situation, provide your student ID, and you can take home, a computer for the semester. So I was like, not many schools would, try to reach you to that extreme. So,
we also have some spaces in my resource centers where students can come in and do their Zoom classes. We have these rooms in the Language Resource Center that are, they were meant for students to work on their foreign language, go in and shut the door and talk, but students reserve them and go in there and do their Zoom classes. It's amazing. You can come in and we've got a QR code that students can use, or I even set up recurring reservations for students every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 o'clock. They know they have Zoom class. I'll set them up with a private space to do their course in a, again, being at school helps you to do school. So that's another reason why students will use the rooms. We have multiple spaces for students to attend their classes, even on Zoom here in the resource centers. So
yes. And we've always had persons come to the engagement desk, wanting rooms to reserve. And we're like, okay, the Academic Achievement Center, Resource Center, they have rooms available for you. I would check them out. Sometimes we walk them over there. We're like, okay, let us take you. And another good thing about this new location is that the library is right on top. So you have anything that you want to book, you wanted to go print anything, everything is just right there in that center. I think that's the best decision JUCO has made. in its entire existence.
It was an investment. And, you know, it was really ready to go in June. And we were so sad. We were like, this is terrible. We have all these things. So we made sure that we were available. One thing that I didn't mention is that we also have a research librarian on the first floor a lot of the hours that we are open. So there's also library help on the first floor as well as up on the second floor. So, and there are some great quiet spaces to study upstairs on the second floor. They've got tables and desks and these kind of cubicle things where you can partition yourself off from the world and all the other things that are going on. So that between the first and the second floor, there are a lot of options for places for you to be, study and get your work done and to find academic success.
It's true. So you can, you know, be in one room doing an assignment, and then when you get stuck, you're like, it's simple. You walk out and be like, okay, you carry your problems with you, and that person will help you solve it. So I think that is just beautiful.
I mean, there's everything. There really is everything. I don't know if we can say that enough. It's like, you just gotta reach out. It's the same thing as getting involved on campus and on events. They are there for you. Please use them.
We are waiting for you. Come and talk to us.
I think what makes me upset was the fact that after all this, you know, you guys went into one room. I was a little skeptical about that. But you guys went on the first floor of the library, and then we were all shut down. And I'm like, wait, no. I was like, no. I was excited to go in there. But when I walked in,
it's really cool. We're color coded, by the way. So you can tell which area you're in by the color.
And then I think there's like the sign, like so the writing resource center is all decked out. And
yellow.
Everyone, there's also, I'm not sure, it's not open right now, but you guys also have like a little coffee place in there too. So if you're hungry, it's not open currently, but in the future, students, yeah, you know, in the future, you also have a little, is it like a cafe?
Yeah, it's called Stacks Cafe. And so they'll make coffees, espressos, all of that. They also have one of those cases with the sandwiches and parfaits and fruit and vegetables and things. So they're not open right now. I'm hopeful that they might be this semester. And they were looking at our traffic patterns, but they'll definitely be open in the fall.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's also really, they make smoothies too. So we've got it all.
You wake up in the morning and you know you have a decked out class and assignments to do, grab everything, go to the library first floor, second floor, and there's everything right there for you. How thoughtful.
and right now you could bring your own coffee and your own snacks and sit in that tiled area in the entryway and go ahead and eat your lunch or whatever it might be in a space that's safe to do that. So
yes,
got
and
options now.
Yes, and the cafeteria, no, what is it called?
Yeah,
where we buy food.
Yeah, the cafeteria. Yeah.
Okay, and the cafeteria is open, so you can swing on by the first floor, grab your lunch, and then you can take it. Or they deliver. That is another. I think we're gonna have an episode talking to someone from that department about them delivering food or how you order food on campus, so you don't really have to go to the cafeteria. Beautiful. So everything is all set for students. Yes. You guys just need students to engage. Has there been an uptick in traffic since this semester or the previous? Like, is there been
So we've had pretty regular traffic in the Academic Achievement Center and the Language Resource Center because athletic teams are practicing on campus. And so we've had those athletic teams in our center studying the softball, volleyball, dance, basketball, both men's and women, some of the baseball players. We've had the men's soccer in the afternoon. So we've got a variety of students in our spaces now. Like I have some work study students and they were like, I love this place. There's other people my age here. I know we're all kind of lonely for one another. And so, I mean, that mental health aspect is part of learning. So if you need to see other people your own age, the athletes are in studying, other students are coming in for that when they really need that face-to-face support. There are places for us to, I mean, you have to wear your mask over your nose and your mouth, and we will be cleaning and checking in and take your temperature at the door and all the things that we need to do to be safe. But we've been really cautious, but we've been really successful in having students come and find a safe place to study.
Okay, awesome. Well, Valerie, I want to thank you very much for taking the opportunity to come and speak with us. We truly appreciate it.
I'm glad to do it.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to having you all back in a more full fashion in fall. I have hope. We're going to get there.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be amazing, especially when everything is back open and then you're going to see all that traffic because everybody's going to come and check that place out. We're going to check it out. Everybody's going to be like, wait, what? And you're going to have a full phone traffic. You're going to don't have feet to move around.
I'm looking forward to it. For now, check us out at jccc.edu/AAC, and you can see our services and workshops and other things we've got to help students.
Awesome.
And we'll have all those links down below, as well as all of our student life links, Cavalier Corner links, everything like we always do every time. And perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, Valerie, for being here with us. We always love talking about the resource centers and everything else that we offer students, because it really just takes, you know, sometimes actually I've had students come up and say, thanks to Cavalier Corner, I now know this A, B, C about campus, and that just makes it so much better.
Yes, we want you to feel the whole college experience, so let us be part of that.
Yes, definitely.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And as always, we are JCCC Student Life on Instagram and Facebook, and Cavalier Corner on all of our podcast platforms. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, you guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.